Hello everyone, I haven't been on YouTube for a while. What I will make today is an unusual video for me because usually I would plan to make a book review or a vlog or something of a kind. And today I'm gonna try to recreate a painting, a Bob Ross painting. You can see that I'm not a very confident English speaker at the moment mostly because I haven't spoken it for a while, and also because I'm not that good at it. Probably also the pronunciation, but I hope it won't disturb anyone. That was my first landscape or scenery painting, and that was a Bob Ross tutorial painting that I made. Oops. That's how it looks. You can see here how it also looks around me in our flat, and I quite liked this scenery, and that's why I chose it. At first, what I sought for was actually just a Bob Ross tutorial, and I just wanted to try it out because it seemed like many people who couldn't paint that well, they did fine, and I thought maybe me, a beginner who doesn't paint at all, who hasn't painted at all anything seriously. I'm not sure when had I painted before that, especially the scenery, because I tried a portrait or maybe painting some stuff from my head that didn't work well. This was something new for me, and I tried to make it beautiful. I quite liked it. I have proven to myself that if I persevere, that it maybe will work. I enjoyed it immensely in creating this painting, even though I hadn't painted anything of the kind before. So just look at this, that was my first Bob Ross painting. This is my table, and now I'm going to clip off the wires that are laying here everywhere. Workshop room, even though it's a dining room. I use it usually for painting or for writing or for reading. So here's my album, and also this is a magic box with all my art supplies. You can't see it properly, but here is so little space. And now I'll show you some of my paintings. If you want, you can skip it. I will leave a timestamp under the video. This is just a sketch, and I got inspired by a woman on the street. And that is my first watercolor portrait. That's how it looks. I tried to make a draft of my kitty cat. Didn't look very realistic. My second Bob Ross painting. I made some mistakes here. The wrong color. It wasn't this bright on the original painting and the video, and I made a big mistake with the shadows, with the reflections of the surface and the water. I made them too long, and it doesn't match the upper part of the painting. Quite like it, even though I made mistakes here. I quite like how it looks. Now you can see, if you look from different angles, it looks differently a bit, quite a bit. It's just like with people, if you look at people from different angles. I won't show you everything, just a little bit. This is a painting I uploaded on my Instagram. The greys I see here, these grey clouds and grey sky, You can't see it on the pictures, and probably you won't see it very well on the video. I left my initials here. That was my own idea. That wasn't a tutorial. This is from a tutorial, Kirsty's Art. You might find this channel on YouTube. I will leave the link in the description. That's my own painting, my own idea, my own creation. You can see it from all the imperfections. I found the leaf and I was quite inspired by this leaf, and I wrote an entire entry into my diary about the leaf. This leaf that was still looking beautiful, but it fell down, and I thought, well, if this leaf was hanging on still hanging on the tree, it'd probably dry out, probably die somewhere there on the top. And so this leaf fell down and could still spend some time somewhere else, but of course leaves don't think, and it was just my thought thread. This is also from a tutorial that was supposed to show a 10-minute painting. I needed about 3 hours for this painting. Ta-da! Also my idea and just my amateurish kind of joy of painting. Yeah, everything. And this is how it looks in my magic art supply box. I have bought this fan brush just for Bob Ross paintings because he often uses it and I didn't have it, and yeah, that's for happy little trees. My watercolor, my first acrylic paints. I wouldn't use this right now. I think I'm not prepared yet.
We're going to use a black canvas, and I'm going to do an almighty seascape here and show you how to do some fantastic things. First of all, we'll have them run all the colors that we're going to use across your screen so you can see exactly how my palette's laid out.
I want to move to England, where people love their tea. So much they made a spot in the afternoon to drop everything and drink. I'll have Earl Grey every morning, chai in the afternoon, green tea in between them, stirring the honey with a spoon. Drop all the bombs you like, as long as I have my key. I'll be a happy silhouette with my little next to me.
Acrylic and allowed to dry. Now on the bottom, I've started out with burnt umber.
Burnt umber, check.
Bottom. Then I've blended that right into Van Dyke brown.
It's got dark outside, and so I had to turn on the light. The lighting is yellowish, and it might probably make everything look worse. The colors will be perceived the wrong way. So I will try to film the entire painting once again. I mean, not the process. I mean the result. But now I'll try just to have fun. And I have burnt umber, but I haven't, for example, I haven't Van Dyke brown, I haven't Phthalo or Phthalo, wait,
A little phthalo blue.
Phthalo blue,
And the whole top of the canvas.
Phthalo green,
So it's
and
very
Prussian blue.
So I'm gonna search and mix colors. I have read that ultramarine is the nearest to what Prussian blue, I guess, is. Either Prussian blue or phthalo blue. So now I'm going to make a little research about the colors, how I mix them, and show you the result. It may be not going to be exactly how it's supposed to be, but in my experience, whenever I chose the wrong colors for Bob Ross paintings, and my first painting was painted with watercolor, even though he had either oil colors, he had either oil paints or acrylics, and I didn't have that at the moment, so I had to do a little input to mix the colors, search for the correct one, what would look the best way. I also used...
So this is my burnt umber, and I don't possess Van Dyke brown, so I have read on this forum that to extract this color I would have to mix burnt umber and burnt sienna, which luckily I have. This Van Dyke brown looks more like my burnt umber. Every sample I'm seeing here is just something else as what I've got from mixing burnt sienna and burnt umber. So I'm going to experiment even more. So I've mixed pine green, burnt umber and burnt sienna. What have I got? Something like burnt umber once again. I don't know if it's the right thing I have done. It feels like I have lost all this reddish hue from the burnt sienna, from mixing it all with the pine green. So it's just me being desperate. I have added the black to the entire mess here, and it does look a bit similar to what I've seen here on the samples or nomenclature, how you call it. Their burnt umber looks a bit different from what I have, I think. But anyway, Van Dyke brown is supposed to be, as I understood, way darker than the burnt umber. This is cyan blue. I will use it instead of the phthalo blue because I haven't it, and it looks quite similar. This is the color I used for my second Bob Ross painting for the sky. And this is ultramarine. I will use it instead of Prussian blue. And this is rich green. Yeah, so with the light it looks quite similar to what he has. Here is the burnt umber. Here is this Van Dyke brown. Here is my rich green blended into cyan blue. Cyan blue is blended into ultramarine.
No one really knows what he's here for. Everyone thought it was bizarre. He knew the names of every star. It's strange, please explain all of these abnormal events. Mr. Namagachi is an interplanetary immigrant.
version of Alizarin Crimson.
He answered questions I had not said, like he could peer inside of my head. I never felt like he would cause any harm, like an explorer with a childlike charm. Once I came home late one night,
My fan brush looks more like a rake.
saw orbs of glowing white light circling above Namagachi's place. They disappeared without a trace. It's strange, please explain all of these abnormal events. Mr. Namagachi, isn't it a planetary immigrant? He is or isn't.
So far, it's not that bad anymore, and here you can see I have made shadows. Bob Ross didn't do this, but I had to save my painting, and because it anyway didn't look like his.
He is or isn't. He is or isn't. He is or isn't. I woke up to find the feds on my lawn. I was sure Namagachi had gone. Men in suits were looking for my friend. I hope one day he'll come back again. It's strange, please explain all of these abnormal events. Mr. Namagachi, isn't it a planetary immigrant? He is or isn't. He is or isn't. He is or isn't.
That happy little tree is getting bigger. I think I'm done, and yeah, it didn't work as well as the original, and I had a lot of problems here. Splashing water, the waves, the rocks, the cliffs, happy little trees, happy little clouds. I tried to get it all. Look at all this mess. And you remember at the beginning it was very clean here, or at least not messy at all. It's 3:54. I have put a lot of effort into this painting, and it was much harder than the second one, and the second one was much harder than the first one. Somehow every time I find a new tutorial from Bob Ross, it gets just harder and harder, but it anyway was fun to create this painting. video I started being regretful about the project and a day spent in preparations for this, and as I'm contemplating it, I really enjoy, I appreciate that I could try this out. Even if I couldn't fulfill this task of painting the picture perfectly, and perfectly nobody can. Everything is perfect in its own way in this world. That's why, as Bob Ross says, there are no mistakes, there are only happy accidents. And this is what he teaches the people who are following his tutorials or taught them. It's just enjoying the whole process and learning something about yourself and the way you do this thing. You are not Bob Ross when you're painting, even if you are trying to copy his style or the composition. If you wish to draw or write or paint and you would like to share it with the others, then maybe you should follow the impulse. You never know if it's worth your time, but anyway, it's an experience and probably it's a lot of fun because life is a big surprise and everything that's happening with us. So maybe if you have been thinking for a long time whether you should try and paint a big picture like Bob Ross, then maybe you should just try it out yourself. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Bye.